Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress Live Wednesday Night Podcast. We are so excited all of you decided to join us tonight because you picked a great show. I am talking to my wonderful friends at United Spinal Association. So, welcome to the show, Vincenzo and Lindsay. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much for inviting us, Tina. What an honor.
I am so excited because the entire world to know about all the amazing things that United Spinal does. So we're going to get right into it tonight. Vincenzo, which we all call him Enzo, can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
So I am Vincenzo Piscopo or Enzo Piscopo, whatever is easier for the audience to call me. I am the president and CEO of United Spinal Association. United Spinal is actually the largest uh, nonprofit organization for people with spinal cord injury and disorders in the country. We have over 60,000 members. We have almost 50 chapter, 2,000 advocates around the country, and we serve the whole community, even if they're not members of us. And what we do, Tina, is actually empower and advocate for people with spinal cord injury and disorders and all wheelchair users to live their life at their fullest with the highest quality of life that they want and that they need. So it's a great organization. We do a lot of things that I'm looking forward to sharing with you throughout this program.
Oh, we're so excited. And Lindsay, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Lindsay Elliott. I am the Director of Peer Support here at United Spinal. I have been with the organization for 15 years, and I have always worked in the peer support membership services department. So I work directly with the members. I run our national peer mentoring program through our chapter network and also um, administer our support group network and work on building out our virtual support group offerings for our members nationwide.
That is awesome. Enzo, what most people probably don't realize is you are a wheelchair user. Would you like to tell everybody how you became a wonderful wheelchair user?
Yes, so I've been using a chair for the last 12 years. For me, was a very boring injury. I wish I could have a very, fun story to tell about my injury, but it's not fun at all. I just woke up one morning to go to work, and I got like the most excruciating pain in my back that knocked me down to the floor, and that was the last time I stand. I was at the last time I stood. And what happened was I had an herniated disc, and that herniated disc that day decided to pop. And when it popped, it pressed my spinal cord and created the damage that created. So I am a complete T6, T9, and yeah, and that's how it happened. So see, very boring. I told you, Tina, it's very boring.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wish
I'll
I
tell
had
you,
that
say,
story.
yeah,
I wish
I
I
say the
had the
same
story
thing.
when I
I
can.
mean, I suffered a spinal stroke. So yeah, I was
Oh,
on the
same here.
operating table for 5 minutes and suffered a spinal stroke. Woke up with no use or feeling in my leg. So mine's not more glamorous than yours. It's just the fact that people need to realize that this could happen to anyone at any time, spur of the moment. So if we're not preparing and have any idea what to do with this, or organizations that are out there, we have nowhere to turn when this happens to us. Lindsay, I don't believe you're a wheelchair user.
I am not. Nope. I got my master's degree in social work and I decided to go into the field of helping people with disabilities. So that's what brought me to the field and the work that I do and the members that we work with. And have learned a tremendous amount over the years working with our members and the population and continue to learn every day new things from the amazing members that we have in the organization.
And that goes to the point that you don't need to be a wheelchair user to join us, support us, fight for us,
Mm-hmm.
or learn about us. Anybody can be part of this wonderful organization. Tell a little bit more, Enzo, about what United Spinal did, because I know I heard a lot of inspiring stories when I was at Roll on the Capitol about people who were in the emergency rooms that didn't know where to turn, and their life changed because they got connected with United Spinal.
Yes, so one of our United Spinal has several very impactful programs, but one of our program that is one of the ones that impacts life directly is our resource center and our peer support work, right? Our resource center is a team of 4 individuals that they are there waiting to help you, where people call them or write to them and they give our members the answers. And the questions that we answer, they go from, I'm here in my hospital and I don't, they don't want to accept me in any rehab center. What do I do? To things related to, my wheelchair or to sports or to mental health, whatever. And that resource center, Tina, I'm extremely proud of the work that that team does because we have literally saved lives. I mean, we've had people calling us that are in the verge of committing suicide. And they've called us, and our team does not stop until the person gets the help. And we've been able to actually help people to save their lives. But we see, we take calls, hundreds of calls every month, directing, helping people. And that resource center, we also have a resource center live, where we have conversations with our resource center where people can call and ask any question that they might have about living with a spinal cord injury or being a wheelchair user in general. And when I say any questions, I mean any questions. I mean, the kind of answer, the questions that we ask are, it's they're all over the place. But the nice thing is that our team is not only trained to answer the majority of those questions, but if they don't have the answers, they can guide you to the resources that will answer those questions. And one of the things, Tina, that I'm very proud of our team is that they don't stop until they feel that they have helped. And there's nowhere here in the country that you get that kind of services from people.
Absolutely. And when spinal cord injuries all over the world and across the country, a doctor can tell you when you're just newly paralyzed, whether it's from the neck down or waist down, you can do this, you can do that. But having a wheelchair user roll into your room and say, hey, look at this, what I've accomplished since I became a wheelchair user, or this is what I can do. And having that peer mentorship is everything. Lindsay, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the peer mentoring is so critical and key. I think it's so important in any with any disability or any diagnosis to have, to find people that understand it fully, that truly understand what it's like to live with this diagnosis or this type of disability. So it's a huge passion for me. I find it so important for not only new injuries. I mean, there are many people that get involved with our peer mentoring that have been injured for quite some time, but maybe new issues have arisen. They're aging with spinal cord injury, so they're coming back to the room to gather more information and resources from the group. And one of the things with our peer mentoring program, with COVID, we had to halt doing our in-person trainings and a lot of our in-person mentoring. So new injuries that were, in the rehab centers, they weren't able to access, those mentors rolling into the room and being able to speak with them. So they were really isolated, more isolated than you already feel and you are with this type of diagnosis. So we pivoted our peer mentoring program to more of a virtual setting, and also all of our support groups. Many of our support groups pivoted to this virtual platform, which allowed the connections to still be made. If as long as the individual had access to a computer or a smartphone, they could then tap into these virtual groups and these virtual programs to still get the information and the support that is so desperately needed, in those early days and times. So I'm excited about that. It's a kind of a silver lining of COVID for us, being that we are a national organization and we are reaching members all over the country. We had never really implemented such a platform like this, virtual, Zooms and Teams and things like that. So for the organization as a whole and the members all over the country, to be able to bring them together and our staff. And, we do our weekly social hours every Thursday. That has been tremendously successful. People were so lonely and isolated during quarantine. They joined the social hours every week, and we have continued that, offering those social hours we do them every Thursday, one at 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. The Zoom links to join those are all hosted on our events page at unitedspinal.org. So you can register, come join us. It's fun to chit chat. We still are meeting with the same people every week. And they come with lots of information and things to share with one another. And we look forward to those meetings. I encourage anybody listening that wants to join us, you can be newly injured, newly diagnosed, or, you have years of experience and wealth of information to share with others. So I encourage anybody to come and join our groups. And that being said, you can jump on that events page, and there are tons of groups. It's not just the social hour. There are a plethora of different groups that our chapters have also started and have opened up, invitation to members anywhere. So we've got Rolling with Pride we started for our LGBTQIA community. We have like after dark groups for men and women to talk about intimacy and sex. We have Spanish speaking. We have a group for caregivers. Our Rochester chapter just recently started a gun violence survivors group. So anybody that was injured due to gun violence can join that group. We have nutrition groups and significant other groups. So people that are, maybe not, maybe supportive roles, like they're in the caregiver role or the spousal role. They can come and join others, to get support that way too. We have women's groups, men's groups. So we continue to grow and expand the offerings for our members. So
yeah, everybody needs to go on to unitedspinal.org and check out all the groups, because no matter what position you take, because there's so many different positions in, whether it's the caretaker, the person, the kids, or whatever, there's always a group for you. And I've been on a lot of those groups and I have a lot of fun, learn a lot, especially the peer-to-peer. I've learned so much, especially when I was really injured. I learned so much about how not to give up and how there is another life out there. Disability is not a bad word. I've done more from my wheelchair than I did when I was walking, only because I learned how to live. I learned how to look at life a different way, and I learned how to say, watch me, when somebody tells me I can't do anything. Um, Enzo, tell us a little bit about how many chapters are out there and how somebody joins a chapter.
So, Tina, there are right now, I believe, 47 chapters. We are always looking to open more chapters in areas where we don't have one. So if any of your viewers is from an area that doesn't have a chapter and is interested in starting a chapter, they should connect with us, because our goal is to have chapters all over so that we can serve as many people as possible. But basically, when you become a member of United Spinal, you are assigned to a chapter, and then you go from there, and then they connect you with the chapter, and then you talk to their chapter, and then can participate in all the local activities that the chapter is doing. So so that's the way it works. So you become a member, and then once you become a member, then you're assigned to a chapter.
mm-hmm.
And if there isn't a chapter in your state, because I know Rhode Island does not have a chapter, but you can connect with me and I can connect you to United Spinal. I run my own nonprofit here, so our state is so small, and I already talked to all of our legislators on a daily basis. They get that privilege of speaking to me often. But I've actually joined myself. I'm actually part of the Connecticut and the New York chapter because they're the next two closest to me. So I work off of what they do. So I can always connect you to a chapter. Enzo can connect you. So can Lindsay. So if there's not a chapter in your area and you're not that person that wants to start a chapter, doesn't mean you can't be part of the community. You just join the closest chapter to you. You put in your zip code and it will bring up a whole list. And you know what? If you don't like a chapter because you don't mesh with the people, you can always join another chapter. So doesn't mean that you're stuck in the chapter and you have to stay there. You can switch chapters if need be. Lindsay, tell everybody a little bit more of how they get involved and what what they get out of it by being part of a chapter.
So, like Enzo said, once you join, you can become affiliated with a chapter. Many of our chapters are running local programs, local groups, local meetups, fundraisers. Some chapters obviously are bigger than others, especially those in bigger cities, that have access to more resources. Sometimes they're doing a bit more, but that's not to say, we've got very active chapters still in Iowa that they do fundraising events and expos and things in the community to bring awareness and gather, get people together and organized. I think once you become a member of the organization, it's not just your chapter network. There's tons of stuff you can get involved in on the national level. Whether you join our peer support programs, you join our virtual programming, you can get involved on our Facebook group. We have a Facebook United Spinal group, so you can join that group to meet others. We also do offer one-on-one peer mentoring. So if you are somebody looking for a mentor and you don't have a local chapter with a peer mentoring program, not to worry, we can still connect you with a trained mentor in our program. We have over 500 mentors that have been through the United Spinal training, and any one of those mentors can train you no matter where you're located, because it would be virtual. It would be like a remote mentoring connection. So I encourage people to join, and there's all different arms of United Spinal. We have tech access. So if you're into technology and making your home more accessible through technology, voice commands, and I'm not the most techie of individuals, but I know a lot of people involved in the tech program. They have their houses, completely like voice command, and doing amazing things with turning on lights, opening doors, you name it. Like the tech access program is just flourishing and growing. And so if that's your cup of tea, hop over and join in the tech talks and, the tech program. If you love advocacy and you want to become a stronger, bigger advocate, whether it's for your community and your state, nationally, you can join our advocacy alliance and start using your voice with your local legislators and politicians. And then, of course, you can grow into becoming a stronger advocate with our Roll on Capitol Hill that we host every year. We're always looking for new advocates to come and join us in that experience. So there are many ways to get involved in United Spinal, whether you want to share and just find community, we can bring that to you. I think one thing I love about the United Spinal organization is it's very community based. It's very family based. You feel part of something. You feel welcome, and we want people to join us. We want you to feel comfortable to come, join us in any area that is of interest to you. And as a staff member for the organization, I've always felt that, that the community, the members who really love United Spinal and are part of the family, they feel that way for a reason. That is the environment that we strive to provide our members.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I went to Roll on Capitol Hill for my first time this year, and I met so many incredible advocates from across the country. And now you're all stuck with me because I'm not going anywhere. And I talk to many of the people that I meet, weekly to work together and do different things of what I'm doing in their state to what they're doing and bring it to my state. So you can get so much out of it. So I welcome everybody to join Roll on Capitol Hill next year because it's an experience everybody needs to have. And so here's a good question for you. If there is a secret about United Spinal that you would love to get out to everybody, like something that somebody wouldn't expect, what would it be?
Oh gosh, they're not, they're not secrets because we are a 100% transparent organization. But what I can tell you that is something that people don't realize with us is that we are a community. And one of the things that we as an organization do is to make sure that our members feel part of a community, because that is what makes us stronger. And that is, in fact, that's something that inspired the Strong Will Together campaign, because it shows that we as an organization, when we work together, we're stronger than anybody else, right? And that's something that United Spinal does beautifully, bring people from our community together and do make changes and make impact so that we can progress in everything that needs to be where we need to progress. From our rights, from accessibility, from having the right, the right public policies to support us. We
Mhm.
do that because of the community that we are. And I think that's not a secret, but it's our advantage that nobody else has.
Oh, absolutely. We are definitely stronger together. And Lindsay, now that Enzo opened the bag up, tell us a little bit about our Strong Willed campaign.
Yeah, so we launched this campaign this year. We're super excited about it. We sent we I don't know, we sent out, an ask for members of the community who fit into different areas of interest, whether they were entrepreneurs or into the visual or write poetry and arts, sports and recreation. We wanted members, our youth, to come forward, and people that were doing great things for the youth, the members of the youth community. So we had a bunch of submissions. We had to go through and create a list of finalists for our gala that we're going to be hosting in November, on November 10th, where we will announce the strong-willed, what are we calling it, Enzo? The, I
The
don't know what we're calling
recipient
it.
of the Strong Will Together award.
Award. Thank you. So yeah, so we right now we are asking everybody to go visit our YouTube channel and see all the candidates submitted a short video of explaining about what they do, their passion, and why they think that they are worthy of this award. And you vote, you give the video a thumbs up, and whoever gets the most thumbs up will win this award. And we're super excited about it. We hope that you guys can take a minute to pop over there and vote, and visit those videos. They're awesome. They're amazing. So many wonderful and amazing members in the community doing incredible things. So I encourage you to look at that. And one of the other pillars of our Strong Willed campaign was our mental health initiative that I led this year to really bring more conversation and awareness to the mental health um, conversation and the issues that the community faces. So we are doing Mental Health Mondays every Monday on our Instagram. We have several blogs that we've members in the community have written for their experience with mental health. I'm working with Michaela Devins, who is a mental health counselor, and she also lives with quadriplegia. So she has the kind of the perspective from both sides, living with her disability, but also treating members. Not actually, she doesn't even treat people in the spinal cord injury community. She just works for the mental health clinic and treats people with all different types of mental health issues, but she is a disabled therapist and has a really wonderful point of view to add to this campaign. So we have been working very hard on this campaign all year. So mental health piece is also critical and very important to us and our members.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
everybody definitely needs to go and vote.
Tina, can I add a couple of things to about our Strong Will Together campaign?
Absolutely.
Yes. So no, just to add, the when the thing that really inspired us to do this campaign is twofold. One, we as an organization, as a community, we really have to fight stigmas, right? The stigma that people with disability have. And the way that we can do that, a way to do that is to make sure that there is representation, right? And representation everywhere, representation in business, representation in the arts, representation in sports and all that, so that people can understand, the value that people with disability bring, and, and remove those stigmas that are very paralyzing. But not only that, our community is full of talent. Just from this Strong Will Together campaign we did, we realized how many talented people are around there with disabilities. So what we try to do with this campaign is to bring awareness to their talent, to make them known and recognized. We need our community and all the society to know and see the amazing talent that is out there with disabilities. And that will help them, but it will help remove that stigma. So
Mhm.
we need to do more of that, Tina. And it's great that you have this podcast because it allows the community, not only the community of people with disability, but all the community, to see the power that this community bring in every aspect of society. So, and lastly, as it relates to the mental health, Lindsay and Michaela were very strong on making sure that that was part of the campaign, because mental health is extremely important for our community to be strong. So we really need to make sure, one, that we take care of our mental health before anything, and second, that we understand that it's okay to take care of our mental health. Because when we
Oh,
are healthy everywhere, we are stronger. And when we do it together, we are strong-willed together.
absolutely. And the one thing that everybody needs to be reminded is if you're a spinal cord injury, 99% of the people were walkers at one time and became disabled. So they did their life, they learned their life, and then they had to relearn their life in a different way and keep their strengths and keep everything going. So when you're looking at all of these individuals that you're seeing, remember, they were walkers at one time and now they're doing it from a wheelchair, and going forward and still being strong and still keeping going. So that is powerful in itself. Never mind the talent and the things that they do. Like Adam Lane just hand cycled from California to Washington. Like, really? Like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, normal able bodied people don't really do that. And he did it in his hand cycle because he is a wheelchair user. So different things like that. I mean, Josh Basil is a wheelchair user and he's a lawyer. He goes into court and he fights cases from his wheelchair. So anything is possible, and anything is possible when we work together and highlight and lift up each other, because the suicide rate for disabled people is extremely high and we want to knock that down to nothing, because we are a viable person of society. We contribute more than probably anybody else because we have more to prove. And you know, we're interesting individuals. If you we I like to put it that way. I'm a very interesting individual. So you want to get to know our community.
Yes.
Lindsay, would you
Indeed,
like to add
indeed.
anything to that?
Yeah, no, you're
No,
completely. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lindsay.
I would just agree with you 100%. I mean, the disability doesn't define you. It's, you are a person first, and getting to know people no matter what is amazing. And yes, this community has a tremendous amount of talent and amazing people doing amazing things. So,
Yeah, and that's why we need to make sure, Tina, that society knows and gets to know the amazing talent that there is in our community, because society is missing out when they don't hire us, when they don't, yeah, where they don't hire us, when they don't include us. And that's why, I'm so proud of the work that United Spinal does, because it's trying to bring that awareness, but also is trying to help our members to really unleash that potential, to live their life at their fullest, and in the process, give back to society, give back to the community, because we have so much to give. One thing, Tina, that I always say, that one of the big gifts that I got from being disabled was getting to know so many brilliant people that I had not had the opportunity to do. And when I had that, when I was welcomed in the community of people with disability, I had the opportunity to meet some people that, oh my God, that they're now my mentors, right? And when you talk to people like Josh, I mean, Josh, he's a quadriplegic, but he's a father of two beautiful kids. He's an amazing lawyer, and he's doing so much every single day to impact our community. You see the work that you're doing, the work that I'm doing, but there's so many more, Tina, out there. And when society doesn't use it, we are all losing. And when they
mhm.
do use it, when they do acknowledge and leverage our power, everybody wins. Society wins. We people with disability wins. Everybody wins.
Absolutely. I mean, look at, you woke up one day and then never walked again when you suffered, I went into a 5-minute procedure and never walked again in 5 minutes. But I always say my life started the day I lost the use of my legs because I have done more from my wheelchair than I had when I was walking. I learned a different way to live. I learned a different way of looking at life, and I learned a different perspective to see amazing people. I would have never met Enzo if I was not disabled. There would have been so many people in my life that I would have missed out on knowing. So when you see a wheelchair user, get to know them, introduce yourself, change your perspective because I'm telling you, you are missing out on incredible, active, talented, amazing people if you are not interconnecting with the disability community. I mean, Lindsay's a walker and she's been with our community for over 15 years. And would you change anything? Would you rather have done something different?
No, 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 nope. Nope, that's why I'm still with the community. I love it. I love the work I do. I love the members. I love the organization and the people I've gotten to work with over the years. It's incredible, and it's so amazing to be part of that. And I feel, with all the advocacy work that we're doing, and in that grassroots way, that you're really making change. You're really pushing the ball down the field and making real change that impacts our members daily, and hopefully improves their quality of life, even if they don't see it or feel it right away. The work that we're doing in DC, it's on a policy level, changing policies and making sure that members have the right to these things. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to be part of that. And no, I there's nothing I would change.
Yeah, and one
And
thing,
just
Tina, to add to that, the fact that, Lindsay is a walker is that, there is so much work that needs to be done for the disability community to really, have the same rights as everybody else. And for that, we need allies, and our allies can, our workers, our corporations, our everybody. We need those allies, to fight for us with our, to really for our rights, for the things that we deserve.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we want everybody to realize that if you happen to become part of this amazing community, because it is an amazing community, it's not a death sentence, it's not a bad thing, it's just a different way of doing things. It's just a different way of looking at things. And let me tell you, I got into more free content because I bring my own chair and don't have to buy those uncomfortable seats. So there's always a positive to it. So definitely it's not a bad thing, and we will guide you through every step of the way. Lindsay, tell everybody how they go on and vote for and check out all of the videos for our Strong Wheel Together campaign.
If you go to our website right now, unitedspinal.org, we have a big splash about it right on the homepage. So you can just jump onto our website. It'll link you right to the YouTube videos. And then you can scroll, again, set aside some time so you can watch the videos. And if you like them, give them a vote. And we look forward to announcing the finalists in November.
Yeah, so definitely do that. Enzo, we're nearing the end of the hour somewhat. I want you to tell everybody why they should become part of United Spinal. Sum it up for us.
Yes, so for many reasons, Tina, because United Spinal Association is a one-stop shop for everything that you need to be able to have a fulfilled life. You can get the resources that you need. You get to be part of a very strong community. You need to to help us advocate for you, and we give you all the tools for that. So being part of United Spinal allows you to meet this wonderful community, interact with this wonderful community. I cannot, I mean, there is, I can go on and on and on everything, why, you need to be part of United Spinal so that you can benefit from all our resources, but most importantly, to help our community, because we need to help each other in this fight. It's a fight that you cannot do by yourself. I cannot do it by myself. We need it together, and United Spinal is that convener that allows us to be a stronger force to really make change for ourselves, but for our community at large.
And when they tell you that they're changing lives and saving lives, they truly are. Because with everything that I have been doing for the past 3 years, when I became totally immersed at United Spinal, it's literally changed me. And it's become my number one go to ask questions. Because, yes, I am a spinal cord, but I still need to ask questions because we don't know everything and things are changing. So it is my go-to, and everybody needs to be a part of this because, like I said, it's changed my life, and now they're stuck with me. Lindsay, how about you summing it up from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo Enzo in just saying that, come join us, be part of this community. It's strength in numbers. Everybody has something to bring to the table. And, if you want to find your voice and use your voice in different ways, we can help you do that. If you're looking for, I think about the organization too, from our hospital membership program, from the initial onset of injury, we are trying to reach people from that initial onset of injury and then helping people through using the resource center to get back to your home, make your home accessible, learning to drive again, or if you want to go back to school or you want to go back, to work. And we have our Pathways to Employment program that we can help you find a job. And then, we're working on our Ready to Roll and our emergency preparedness program. So we're trying to make sure members of our community are ready and, prepared when emergency and disasters hit that obviously, are out of our control, like hurricanes and floods and fires and things of that nature. And then just the everyday, socialization, interaction with the community. People are parenting and busy living lives and working, but yet they still find time to come back and bring themselves to even social hour once a week to just, have fun, chat with members around the community. We're always learning new things, sharing resources with each other. People are attending abilities expos and, out just living lives and finding new products or new technology or new assistive technology. And they, it's so great to just have a spot where we can come and gather and chat and bring those things to the table and share amongst each other. So I think everybody has something to gain from being a member of this organization and something to share. And we welcome you to come and share whatever it is you'd like with us.
And one thing I want to echo, it's nice to know about this organization before you need it, because if you're standing in that hospital room with an onset from either you or a loved one, and the doctors are asking you and you are overwhelmed, this is a number you want to call to make sure that you're answering the questions right, that you're doing it the right way, because sometimes even the doctors and stuff will give up before it's time. So you have a community to call and ask those questions. So knowing about United Spinal before you need it or a loved one needs it is going to be to your benefit, because when you're in that hospital room and you need to make decisions quick with everything overwhelming you, this is the place you want to reach out to, and you want to call, and you want to make sure that you're getting the answers that you are supposed to be using and not just trusting. I'm sorry, but I am a firm believer in second and third opinions. Before you make a final decision, call the place that knows you. UnitedSpinal.org. Go on their website, get familiarized with it, know about it, embed it in your head, because I guarantee you somewhere down the road, you're going to need it and you're going to want to know it. Thank you so much, Enzo and Lindsay. It's such a pleasure having you, talking to you, and not only being my colleagues, but my friends. It's so excited. Any last words, Enzo? Anything that we missed that you wanted to make sure that you got across today?
Sure. I really encourage everybody to follow us in our social channels, in Twitter, in Facebook, in Instagram, and also be, we are a big organization, and we love to hire people with disability to work for us. So if you are, always check our website for job openings and see what opportunities are there for you. But very importantly, follow us in all our social channels so you can learn about the great things that our community is doing and what United Spinal has to offer for you at a given time.
Yeah, Lindsay, anything you want to add?
Just to note that membership is free. I think we forgot to mention that, but it's free to join the organization. You can be anybody can join. You can be a caregiver, a professional, and in the field. a person living with a disability, a friend, a spouse, a neighbor, you name it. Anybody can join. It's free to join. Once you become a member, you do get New Mobility too, which is our amazing membership publication that comes out bi-monthly. And you can visit newmobility.com and read all the past issues. There's tons of great information and articles to gather there too. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yep. So go on unitedspinal.org, join all of their social media, join everything that you could possibly join, learn, know everything that you could possibly know about them. It's free of charge. You can get involved, you can get hired, you do whatever you need to do. You just need to be part of this amazing organization. And that's exactly why they are on my show, because I need the whole world to know how wonderful my friends are. So thank you guys so much for being a part of my show today. I look forward to continuing this conversation and having you on at a later date to update everybody on what's going on, especially closer to roll on the Capitol so people can get involved. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for being my guest today. I'd like to invite everybody back next week. We're going to have a fabulous show going on. Same time, same channel, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock live on the Rant page. And as I always say, don't just sit there, everybody. Make a difference. Have a great night.
I'm Chaz Kalenda, and I'm running to be the next Rhode Island Attorney General. I practiced law for the last 16 years, 12 of them in the office of the Attorney General, so I have the knowledge and experience to do that job at a high level. I'm not here to fight for a political agenda. I'm not here to fight for a special interest. I'm here to fight for the rights of every Rhode Islander, no matter where you come from or no matter what your background is. I'll need your votes on September 13th for the primary election and November 8th for the general election. If you have any questions about where to vote or how to vote, please contact your local Board of Canvassers or the Secretary of State's office or website. I'm not running to be just another politician. I'm running to be a public servant who can serve as a much-needed check and balance on the state of Rhode Island to root out the corruption both inside and outside of our system. We need your support. You can visit my website at chas4ag.com to learn more about me, donate, or volunteer your time. I'm Chaz Kalenda, and I approve this message.
To take home the Golden Gloves, you've got to put in the work, and you've got to be tough as nails. Ashley Kalis was driven to achieve. Today, Kalis is still fueled by that same hope, grit, and determination. A mother of 3 school-aged boys and successful business owner who ran testing and vaccination sites across the state. Kalis is the fighter Rhode Island needs right now because it's time for a change. Ashley Kalis for governor.